I have burned so many bridges in my lifetime. It's actually crazy to me how one person is able to get so close to so many people and then lose all those relationships with a drop of a hat. I've lost friendships, business relationships, romantic connections, acquaintances, usually in an organic way. My life has always been so chaotic and I'm always moving around and my schedule is always changing. My mode of communication changes. My mindset and my interests and even my worldviews keep changing. But in so many cases, I fizzled out of these relationships in a way that it feels difficult to think that I'll ever go back to them again. It feels like I've burned the bridge instead of simply drifting apart. And I've been thinking about this a lot. It feels especially crazy to me because as a kid, I never felt too close with other kids. In fact, my mom used to have these talks with me asking me how come I didn't have any close friends if I was having issues at school. And my answer was always that I had no issues. I just didn't enjoy having close friends, with the exception of my best friend Lila, who some of you have actually seen on my channel, and she's actually very similar to me in a lot of ways. We were the best friends that each other had, but even our friendship was very different from other people's friendships. As a kid, I didn't enjoy anybody else's company as much as I enjoyed my own company. It didn't matter to me if you were nice or mean. Around other people, I automatically just felt like a ghost. I felt like I had to smile, look good, move to their every whim, worry if I'm being annoying, do this thing, not do that thing, feel all their feelings, have all their opinions. But around myself, I got to do and be and feel however I wanted. I could read a book, draw, play piano, and do puzzles. Even if you didn't make a peep, just by being around me, you were stealing that lovely alone time from me because I would have to shut off my own needs and turn into someone who only existed to serve your needs and not mine. And I'm not sure if this dynamic sounds familiar to you, but if it does, I hope you're starting to gain a little bit of clarity about why you are the way that you are, and also maybe why you've burned so many bridges just like I have. Anyway, as I grew older, I did notice that there was something a little wrong with me in the sense that I not only wasn't making close friends with the other kids, I was also a little bit weird as a result. I would often hear people using that word to describe me. Weird. So, on a quest to be a little less weird and have a better chance at excelling in the world, I would try so hard to make friends with everybody and anybody that was willing to be my friend. If I made a new friend, I would make drawings for them, write cute little notes for them, sometimes even bake them cupcakes. And I actually remember praying so hard to have friends as a kid and then feeling really frustrated when kids didn't want to sit with me at lunch or play during recess. Looking back, it feels crazy to me that I had trouble making friends as a kid, and yet as an adult, I've had so many fantastic friends that I don't even know what to do with. But lately, I've been asking myself, is it really crazy, or is it just that I've, over the years, excellently trained myself to start relationships that I didn't truly need, forming connections just for the sake of having connections and then letting them fizzle out over time, or even killing those relationships deliberately when they started to feel like a bother. Maybe, and this might apply to you, my friends, maybe those burned bridges were the result of creating these close relationships with people that were only meant to be your acquaintances or business partners. And maybe that was just the result of feeling like the close relationships were unnecessary in the first place in order to be normal. And maybe creating a close relationship with someone who didn't represent your full self is actually the result of you not even being aware of your full self to begin with. And maybe the relationship fading is the result of you becoming aware of yourself and realizing when that happens that your full self is coming in conflict with the relationship. And maybe the reason you weren't aware of your full self to begin with, so that you can actually form the right close relationships from the start, was because you weren't allowed to be your full self as a kid. The choice was always between being alone or being hurt or unseen. So you always chose loneliness. But loneliness hurts too. So then you take a deep breath, stick your head underwater, and set your full self aside in pursuit of any relationship you can get your hands on, which eventually would fade as you came up for a breath of air and connected again to your full self. If you've ever burned a bridge and you feel somewhat ashamed about it, like I do, just remember that not everybody in the world was meant to be your absolute closest friend. The right relationship will be one in which both you and the other party can be their full selves without it being an issue for the other. Maybe in order to achieve that level of peace, you have to be alone, or or just until your lifestyle or attitudes become more amenable to the other person being in your life. Become closer gradually. Maybe by burning those bridges, you have not only freed yourself to be your full, proud self, but also freed the other person to be their full, proud self. Maybe they should be thanking you for breaking that chain. One thing I want to add here is that if you're constantly finding that you're being your full self is causing other people to become angry or resistant, perhaps that's a sign that you need to be your full self more often. If you're advertising yourself to others as this sheepish little doormat that will serve all the whims of others, and then they get to know you and they realize that you're not like that at all, you actually have expectations, and that's just a disguise that you wear to avoid people being mad at you, they're going to be mad at you regardless because you lied about who you are and they spent all their time and energy on a relationship that wasn't real and caused them to feel betrayed. So maybe you should start getting to know yourself really well. And when you're ready to start connecting with others, advertise it loud and proud for everybody to see. And trust me, in a world of 8 billion people, there are people out there that will not only be okay with your full self, they will adore it. I promise you. And you know what? It would be a huge disservice to those people to withhold that true version of you from them. So get out there, start exploring and learning who you are, and allow the right relationships to flock to the real you, and expect to burn a lot fewer bridges along the way. In case you're new to my channel, I'm Pardes, and I've created House Hackers Anonymous, which is a 12-step survival program for my younger self. It comes with a 12-step book, 12-step course, and other tools that you'll find on my website and a shop, which you can access all of in the link below. See you in the next video.